The UEFA Champions League final this Saturday, PSG vs Arsenal. Now, this is the one. This is the one that would hurt. If Arsenal go and win the Champions League on Saturday, I might just have to take a hiatus until the World Cup. Seriously. You see, with the league, the Premiership, it didn't bother me. I expected them to win. I predicted for Arsenal to win the league. I think even the biggest Arsenal hater can't deep down say that they didn't expect Arsenal to win the league. Yeah, they stumbled and fumbled along the way. We had a few laughs, we had a few giggles, bottle jobs, whatnot. But I think even the biggest critic deep down would say they still expected Arsenal to win the league. It's still something that they deserve to do. However, I didn't expect Arteta to channel his inner David Moyes to get it over the line, but so be it. Got the job done. Congratulations. But the Champions League, this is the one that they've never won. This is the stick that I'll continue to beat Arsenal fans with anytime they chat rubbish. Bow, bow, bow. Just quick beatings. Quick beatings. Shut up. Quickly. Delusional Arsenal fan. Bow. Anytime. Any place. Anywhere. Because I can. Because my team's done it more than once. Other UK teams have done it. Arsenal, where's yours? Now, if they go and pull it out the bag on Saturday, they're disarming me. I've got no weapon. When them delusional Arsenal fans pop up, what am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? I've got no stick to this. But there's no stick. So yo, if Arsenal win this Champions League, I am in trouble. I am in trouble. I'll be honest, I'll be devastated. I don't really do the hate watches and whatnot, but I might partake this Saturday. Let me not lie. I will partake this Saturday. I will be cheering on PSG. I will be screaming at the TV anytime Kvaratskhelia has the ball running at the fullback, which probably won't be Timber. I will be cheering him on. Even though I think the hype around him about Ballon d'Or and all of that is a bit overcooked, but we'll save that for another day. But also, let's be honest. This is something that they shouldn't win, but they're not expected to win. Do you know what I mean? They're not favourites. And it's against the team that we've all been praising and waxing lyrical about being the best team. So if Arsenal pull it out the bag, for me, this will be a bigger achievement than winning the league. And I said this at the beginning of the season when I made my predictions. I said, I think Arsenal will have enough to win the league. I think they'll go and win the league. But I also said, if I was an Arsenal fan, I would actually, if I could only choose one trophy, I would take the Champions League over the league. Because winning the league, you've done that before many times. Because it then disarms all those fans. Because look, a lot of London teams are winning. Big up Crystal Palace, just won a European trophy. Like West Ham, European trophy recently. Tottenham, like Arsenal. This, please don't take away my stick. Please allow me to keep. Please. PSG are seen as the best attacking team in Europe. Very fluid. They're all able to interchange positions. Possession-based, but not stagnant, controlled possession. No, forward passing possession, because their whole objective is to get the ball to their attacking players, their wingers mainly, as early as possible in order to isolate defenders 1v1. And obviously they instruct their forward players that when they are 1v1, attack. Do not be passive. Do not cut back and drop the ball off. And recycle is probably their trigger word for their forward players. Do not recycle. Attack, attack, attack. Positive, positive, positive. And this is one of the reasons why many of us enjoy watching PSG. Most of these things that are widely appreciated about PSG, like their attacking ability and whatnot, their quick passing, movement, interchange and whatnot. But I think the thing that isn't really appreciated about them for me is their defensive capabilities. So their high press is exceptional. Their off the ball work. They have probably the most aggressive high press in Europe. Like, you will regularly see their fullbacks. Hakimi, although he's probably not going to start, but you will regularly see their fullbacks pressing the centre-backs and the goalkeeper. You will regularly see that. So I think these are and they carry no passengers. They carry no passengers. They're star players. Everyone has to has to work off the ball with the same intensity that Enrique expects them to attack with on the ball. So mentality-wise as well, they've got that. Enrique has been able to tap into something, into his attackers when they're off the ball, to work as hard as when they have the ball at their feet. And I think that's something that we also, well, me personally, I like to see. There's little nuances that I look for that maybe are not so obvious that I enjoy. Like when I'm seeing Dembele being a leader. Because, yeah, you got Marquinhos, who is the defensive leader. But anything from the midfield onwards, Dembele is screaming at the midfield. Dembele triggers the press. Dembele screaming at the wingers. Like, he's screaming at the crowd. He's getting the crowd involved. Like, I love to see this stuff. So, yeah, I think that goes a little bit under the radar. A little bit under the radar. I think all their players are comfortable defending 1v1. So when they do aggressively press, they will get caught out 1v1 a lot of the time, but they are comfortable at defending 1v1. Bar Marquinhos. But he isn't terrible 1v1, but he doesn't look as comfortable as the rest. I saw that many a times against Bayern, especially because I noticed that Diaz started to play on him. Diaz started to play on Marquinhos to get some joy. And you can see Marquinhos kind of looking around like, I need cover, I need help. Whereas the other players 1v1 defending, they're not looking around for their teammates to cover and help them. They're dealing with it, or attempting to deal with it confidently. So yeah, but Marquinhos brings other attributes, his experience, his leadership, which kind of makes up for it. He's also, although he's small, he's about 5'10". He's very good in the air, very aggressive, and just loves to defend. He loves to defend. So yeah, he makes up for it. Yeah, PSG, Pacho, for me, he's possibly one of the most underrated players in football right now. Seriously, I don't see many weaknesses, if any, in his game. On the ball, off the ball, defending, distribution, concentration, pace, strength, aerial ability. Not just athletic ability either. He's tactically astute. Like, you have to remember, Pacho is playing with Marquinhos, who's lost his legs. I remember Marquinhos when he was younger. His speed was his main attribute. So Marquinhos has lost his legs. So he's playing next to Marquinhos, who's also 5'10". Cool. He's also playing next to Mendes, who's bombing on as a winger/striker for the majority of the game. The work that I see Pacho doing is unbelievable. Unbelievable. But I mentioned Pacho being good in the air. I mentioned Marquinhos being good in the air, although he's 5'10". I would say their next most dominant player in the air after Pacho and Marquinhos would be João Neves. And João Neves is about 5'6". So what that goes to show is that their main weakness is Arsenal's main strength, their aerial ability, their ability to defend from set pieces. That's their main weakness. So don't count Arsenal out of this one. Do not count Arsenal out of this one, because we all know how dangerous Arsenal can be from set pieces. Arsenal will be full of confidence after winning the league. The shackles are gone. We're seeing the celebrations, the street parties. Listen, it's carnival right now for Arsenal. They'll be free of apprehension. Like, don't get me wrong. If it's 0-0 going into 60, 70 minutes, those nerves will start to creep in. But I guarantee you Arsenal will be more comfortable with that than PSG. They'll be more happy with that than PSG. So, could we see not a totally different, but more Arteta Arsenal than David Moyes Arsenal on Saturday? I hope so, because it'll be a better game, it'll be a better watch. But also, I don't expect them to go toe-to-toe with PSG, but I don't expect them to be as negative as people think, or as negative as they have been in the Premiership. As I said earlier, unlike the Premiership, this trophy is not a given, but they're not expected to win this. And if those shackles are off, if they're playing Arteta ball instead of David Moyes ball, they will progress the ball forward quicker. They'll take more risks. And for me, this is the only way you can bar set pieces. This is the only way you can beat PSG, even if you include set pieces, because you have to be in those attacking thirds of the pitch in order to win the free kicks and the set pieces more often than not, to have more of a chance to get success from them. So overall, I feel like playing Arteta ball instead of David Moyes ball will be more effective in this game, because PSG are at their weakest in transitions, because they attack so aggressively. They attack with basically the whole of their team, bar Marquinhos and Pacho. So if you can quickly transition the ball into forward areas like we saw with Bayern Munich, many a times we saw 3v2 at the back, 4v3. Many a times we saw PSG defenders outnumbered by Bayern attackers. So if Arsenal can progress the ball forward quickly, they can then take advantage. Also, if they can get the ball into forward areas more often than not, rather than the backwards and sideways passing, then they'll have more of a chance of winning free kicks, winning corners, but also they won't be inviting that like I said, PSG are brilliant at pressing, at aggressively pressing you. So if you are playing sideways passes and backwards passes, you're inviting trouble. And those PSG boys are quick. You know, some players are quick running forward, but they're slow running backwards or slow to chase the ball. But when they get the ball at their feet, they're off. Zoom. PSG are, listen, it's 100 miles per hour press. So, yeah, the sideways, backwards passing, forget that. Even if you got to go long, do it long if you have to do it long. If you progress the ball through the lines, passing forward quickly, even better. I think that'll give Arsenal the best chance of winning. Team news. I think Dembele is looking like he's going to be back fit. Hakimi, I can't see it. Hamstring injury. Listen, I can't see it. And his profile, how it's not an injury that you can kind of nurse back in. You can kind of just, let me not run full tilt. It's not one of those injuries. And Hakimi isn't one of those players that I think, even if he could do that, I don't think he'll be able to pull it off. He's a 100 miles per hour all-in type player. So, yeah, he's going to be a miss. So, we expect Emre to fill in at right back. The same back four, Marquinhos, Pacho, Mendes. Same midfield, Neves, Vitinha, Ruiz. and Doué, Dembele and Krabber up front. For Arsenal, I expect Mosquera to start at right back again. Obviously, Ben White has been filling in for Timber, who looks like he might be fit enough to make the squad, but I doubt Arteta will risk him to start him. Or would he? Should Arteta risk starting Timber? I don't think he should. I think he should stick with Mosquera and kind of tell Mosquera he can be as aggressive as he likes, because if he picks up a booking, Timber's waiting to come on for the second half. So be aggressive with Krabber. Get your foot in there. Yeah, do what you have to do. If you get a booking, don't worry. Timber's there to come on. But I wouldn't start Timber from the beginning because you do not know. Listen, PSG are sharp. Sharp. You don't want to start a player that's not sharp, not ready, not match fit. You don't want to do that. So I would start Mosquera. Obviously, the same back four apart from that, Calafiori at left back. I think it will be an all-English midfield. For Arsenal, I think it will be Rice, Skelly and Eze. Or I think it should be. You might bring back Odegaard, but for me, that would definitely be for political reasons, for, out of loyalty, out of love, out of the bond, what they have. But for me, it should be an all-England midfield for Arsenal. Rice, Skelly, Eze. And then Trossard, Gyökeres, Saka up top. I've heard some people say maybe start Havertz, but I think when you've got a confident, I can see Gyökeres growing in confidence. When you've got a confident Gyökeres, play him. This is what you spent the money for. This is what you brought him in for. Clutch moments, big games, you play him. Let him occupy those two defenders. Because like I said, in transitions, you'll be able to take advantage of the spaces. Key battles for me is going to be like all on Arsenal's right side and PSG's left side. So you got Krabber up against Mosquera or Timber, whoever's at right back. You've also got Mendes v Saka. Now, the two are going to intertwine because Mosquera playing instead of Timber means that there'll be less attacking input from the fullback. Means that Saka is virtually going to be one-on-one against Mendes. He ain't going to have that opportunity what he likes when Timber plays, unless Odegaard plays. If Odegaard starts, then Odegaard will link up with him and create those little problems for Mendes, where Mendes don't know if he should go. Saka likes a little overlap or underlapping run. He could use it as a decoy, cut in, or he will play the ball through. With Mosquera there, he doesn't get that attacking support like he gets from Timber, so he will be one-on-one majority of the time. And also defensively, can Mosquera keep Krabber quiet? If Timber starts, is he going to be sharp enough to keep up with Krabber? So yeah, I think that the right side for Arsenal and the left side for PSG is going to be where the key battles are. In terms of a combined 11, I'll go with Raya. Considering Timber isn't fit, I would go with João Neves at right back. I've seen him do this for PSG. I've seen him do this brilliantly for Portugal. There's times when they play João Neves right back, he inverts into midfield, and they play with a midfield trio of Vitinha, either Bernardo Silva or Ruben Neves, and they play with Bruno in the 10. And then João Neves starts as a right back, but he inverts into midfield. I've seen him do it perfectly. So yeah, I would start with João Neves right back. Then I would go Saliba. I'll go Pacho. That was probably the toughest decision, Pacho or Gabriel. I went for Pacho because for me, I don't like mentality. I love Gabriel for his mentality, by the way. but his mentality is borderline. Sometimes it could boil over, it can bubble over, and sometimes if Gabriel isn't winning his duels, I see it a lot with Haaland. Like if someone can outfight, out-battle Gabriel, he kind of gets consumed by it. And he's just consumed by this duel with this striker. Like, how dare you think you can kind of throw me around? And then he's just obsessed. And you saw what's happened with Haaland and with other strikers where he kind of gets consumed, loses his head a bit. He gets more locked into that duel than the overall game, just mentally. And that's just part of his character. That's something you don't want to take away from him, because it's more of a positive than a negative, but it can be a hindrance at times. I don't see that from Pacho. I see more controlled aggression. So that's the main reason why I chose Pacho over Gabriel. Left back Mendes, of course. Midfield of Rice, Vitinha, and Ruiz. Another underrated player, Ruiz. Up front, I've got... Listen, a fully fit, fully firing, sharp, confident Saka. A Saka at his best makes this team easy. But if I'm talking right now, this team I'm doing, the combined 11 is obviously right now. Otherwise, Timber would be in it. Otherwise, Hakimi would be in it. So right now, I'm taking... It's not even a question. It's Due. And I don't care what anyone has to say. Like, even all the neutral fans, they will rave about... They'll see Due play for PSG this season and rave about him, yeah? They'll see Arsenal play this season and they'll criticise Saka because he obviously hasn't been playing how we're used to seeing him play. Even in games where he's got a goal or whatnot, if you watch the 90 minutes, he's not been playing great. So therefore, how can you then expect to have Saka in a combined 11 when he's competing with Due for the right wing spot? It's impossible. So Due right wing, then Dembele centre forward, Crabber left wing. That would be my combined 11. My score prediction, 2-1 to PSG, but I don't think it will be as tight as that 2-1 sounds. I believe it will be 2-0 for a long period of time. But I believe at some point Arsenal will nick a goal and it will be 2-1. But I don't think there will ever be a point in the game where it's like, yeah, they're gonna come back and they're gonna win this game. I think it will be more of a consolation goal that Arsenal score. So yeah, I think the scoreline predictions for me will be 2-1. Let's hope I still got that beating stick. Let's hope they don't take that away from me. But yeah, hate watch Saturday. Stay tuned.